we play a small game in what we allow ourselves to envision. And we think that if we envision bigger, we won't get it, we'll fail, so we're scared. But here is the real truth. The bigger and bolder your vision, the more you're going to be able to take advantage or even recognize the opportunities, because your vision is so bold that when it comes into your life, you go, oh my God, that is exactly what I have asked for. Being able to create your own reality. Is it real, or is it a whole lot of spiritual bullshit? Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Truth Telling Thursday, where I want to hack the truth bomb around the topic of manifestation. One of the most important things that we need to be thinking about way more than we do. So to lead into the story so you understand more about it, up till my 40th birthday, I used to think about what I wanted, but in a very generalized way. And I would go with the flow, and like a feather, I was blown in the wind. And if the wind took me here, I went there. And I was so light and airy. If the wind took me over there, I went there. And when I reached 40, I realized that this is not a strategy on how to live your life, right? We need to be more intentional in what we're creating. I did create a lot of beauty in my life up to that point, and I was able to take lots of advantage of many great opportunities that came into my life. But it was only then that I truly started to understand the power of what it means to be a manifester. It is intentional. It means you've thought about what you want. The thinking process in manifestation is extremely important. If you can't think it, you can't create it. So you need to dare to be bold and have bold visions. And you need to go into deep details about those visions, right? So if you want a relationship, you need to be able to think about exactly what you're looking for. You need to see it in your mind's eye. Now, some of us find it difficult to manifest because we are basing what we know on the past. And because we are scared of failing, we play a small game in what we allow ourselves to envision. And we think that if we envision bigger, we won't get it, we'll fail, so we're scared. But here is the real truth. The bigger and bolder your vision, the more you're going to be able to take advantage or even recognize the opportunities, because your vision is so bold that when it comes into your life, you go, oh my God, that is exactly what I have asked for, right? You've dared to think bigger than your past. Yeah, you've dared to think beyond the fears of failure in the present moment. So we're manifesting our relationships. We're manifesting our, lifestyle. We're manifesting in our careers. We're manifesting health and wealth. We're participating through our thoughts and belief systems, then through our emotions, and then through the actions that we're taking. There is a direct correlation. So it's not enough to just be able to think big, because I'm saying, yeah, think big, think big. That's great. But you need to believe in what you're thinking, and you need to feel the magic and the beauty of those thoughts. So if you're thinking about a relationship, you need to be able to think about what that looks like. And as you're thinking it, you're feeling it. And the feelings are wonderful feelings. The feelings are feelings of joy, feelings of ecstasy. And you need to be able to stay with those feelings. So it's not just only when I think of this, I feel amazing. I feel so happy. Oh, the beautiful vision. You need to be able to stay with those feelings and breathe in and out every day. You need to become the frequency of the thing that you say that you want. And that means you need to be able to feel like you've already received what you want even though there may be a lot of action steps that are needed in order to truly create that thing. So start to think about what you want to create. You need to be able to go out of the box and think way more details. You need to think about more of the details, right? So it's not enough to say, I want a beautiful house by the beach. That's not really detailed. You need to be able to, does it have a garden, right? Is it right near the beach? Is it up on a hill and you walk down to the beach? Is it away from the ocean because you don't want to be that close to the ocean? Yeah. Is it away from the ocean, but you see the ocean, right? Where is it? Yes. Is it in Africa? Is it in Guatemala? Like, where on the planet is this place that you're dreaming of, right? How much does it cost, right? Like, what kind of money do you want to be thinking of investing in that, right? So you need to be practical as well as fantastical in your thinking. You need to go into the details, okay? And as you're able to start thinking about that and start connecting to those feelings, you start to understand, do I really want that? Because you know that most of the time, a beautiful house with beach views and a beautiful infinity lake swimming pool is not just going to land on your doorstep while you sit and watch Netflix, okay? I'm not saying it can happen. I'm just saying it's unlikely to happen. Everything is possible, of course, but there is also the space of understanding what it's going to take to create what we want. And that is something I really started to understand between my 40th and 50th birthday. It is one thing to have bigger visions of what you want to do, but I think manifestation is where preparation meets opportunity, right? So you've prepared because you've got clarity about your what. What do you want? You've thought about it. You've dreamt into it. You felt it. You visualized it. And you can ask anyone who's ever created anything, whether it was them holding up the gold medal for the long distance. They saw themselves going through the whole process, right? Not just holding the medal at the end. They saw themselves working out and sweating and feeling like failing and yet going back and doing more workouts. They saw themselves getting the coaches and helping them and getting feedback. They saw themselves eating healthy. And you need to be able to visualize more details of what it's going to take to get what you want. So manifestation is the ability to think, bringing what is invisible into the visible. Step number one, right? Going into details of being able to feel it, smell it, touch it as if it's already happened. Step number two, right? And step number three is coming up with a game plan for your next steps in order to keep saying yes to that vision that you have now created mentally, emotionally, and now you need to start doing things in your day-to-day life. It is not enough to have the vision, to feel the emotions, but then start doing something else. Our actions and our thoughts and feelings need to become aligned so that we are intentionally taking each step, each breath in that direction, right? So think about this. If you want to manifest a relationship, one of the most important things in that, besides of getting clear about what you want, besides of getting super clear about what that looks like and feels like, is staying elevated. Because if you want to meet an elevated person, you need to be in an elevated place. So a lot of the work is going to be keeping your energy up, enjoying your life no matter what. So it isn't about waiting to get that thing and then feel happy. It's about, I trust, I know what I want. I'm ready to do whatever it takes. Yes, what does that mean? You might need to go on dates. You might need to get out of your comfort zone. You might need to, change your habits in order to be in the places where the people that you might want to meet are, right? So that's what I'm talking about. You need to do something, and something usually is something disruptive. It's what we're not used of doing. And that's why people say, oh, that manifestation thing, it doesn't work. Yeah, because they do the first part, which is thinking and feeling, and it's all, oh, that's the nice part, that's the creative part. And feeling, oh, yes, oh, it makes me so happy to think about this. But then comes the most important part, which is action, doing something, so that your system is continuing to say, I am nurturing the seed of what I say I want, right? So you may know, some of you, the story of how I manifested my amazing husband, Kai. Well, after, I was only 27 when I met him, but I'd had a lot of experience, and I decided I knew exactly what I wanted. And I came up with something I call the 5 non-negotiables, right? And I was very clear that this is what needed to be there. For example, I needed a guy who was working on himself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, because I was already a personal growth mentor at that point, and I didn't want to have to convince someone that meditation and healing yourself of your trauma, of your limiting beliefs, of the way you look and feel about life is something important. I didn't have time for that. I wanted someone already there, already had that awakening, was already doing the work. So that became one of my non-negotiables, right? I didn't want to deal with a family, with kids. I didn't even know if I wanted kids. So I didn't want my man to have kids or a family already. I just knew that because I dated guys with kids. I dated guys with a family. And for my lifestyle, I was a global nomad. I wanted to be able to move around the planet at a snap of a finger and do whatever I wanted. And I loved that lifestyle. And I wanted someone who could meet and match me in the lifestyle that I wanted to live. So that became extremely important to me, that this person would be open to not have anything holding him back. And of course, a man with the integrity level that I would want to be with, would want to be with his kids, near them, supporting them, and because he decided to have those kids. So I think, it would make sense that he's there being a great father. So I wanted a guy with no kids. I'm 27 years old. Let's see what we can co-create together. That became super clear for me based on my experience. Yeah. So I'm not just pulling this out of anywhere. I experienced guys with kids, and I saw what that felt like, and I thought, this doesn't really fit to me. Right? So that's how you manifest. You start becoming intentional about what you want based on what's happened over here. Like, that's the past. We learn from it. We don't want to bring the past into the future. We want to create something else, right? And maybe you have some cool things in your past. That's awesome. But still, it's in the past. Manifestation is all about bringing something that isn't here, so I call it in the invisible world, into the visible world, right? Where you can touch it, smell it, and experience it. So you need to start thinking very specifically about the things that are important to you. If you want trying to get the job of your dreams, you need to know what your superpower is, right? What do you love, 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 love to do? If you weren't even paid, you'd still do it, because it's just something that is so important to you, that you're so passionate about, and that you have become better and better at. And maybe you're not great at that thing yet. For example, I wasn't great at being a personal growth mentor when I started. I had talent. I had some kind of skill, but I had to hone that in. And I've been doing this, I'm 52 now, for many, many years. So it took me, and I'm still growing, and I'm still becoming a better version of myself each day. So it's important to understand that growth process. So if you want to manifest your dream job, you first need to know what is the things that really truly make you happy, make you smile, make you feel like, oh, I could do this for hours and hours and hours. Even if no one paid me, I'd still do this. I tell you, if you can base your life around those kind of passions, it's going to be a totally extraordinary life. And that's what I teach people, by the way. I haven't just done this myself. I've taught these philosophies to others, and they're doing it and creating more epic lives for themselves. So you need to take action. If you say you want something, you need to take action, right? Now, some things in the manifestation game don't require that much action, right? I can't think of anything right now off of the top of my mind, but if I do, I'll let you know, okay? But let me continue with the story with my husband. So I started dating guys and being very clear about those non negotiables, those 5 things. And honestly, I would just say to guys, look, this is what I'm looking for. Yeah, you have kids, and that's just not part of my vision at this age, 27, what I want. I think you're awesome, but I just don't see how, living together day to day. Because, by the way, in order to create a beautiful relationship, it's about the day to day life. You can have strong emotions and feeling for someone. You can meet someone and go, oh my God, you're amazing, you're beautiful. Oh, but living together day after day after day, month after month, year after year is about desires and what you want. You need to be going in the same direction. You need to have similar dreams and ambitions of direction of what's important to you. They say opposites attract, but if you're like, totally opposite, you're pulling in the opposite direction, and that's causing more stress than fun. You don't need to be identical twins, but you need to have a similar vision of what the direction you want to go, so that you can go together in that direction, right? So again, what are the founding principles about the manifestation game? If you are not able to do something, start to bring your ideas through talking about them, through inaction, not much is going to come out of that vision, right? So the first one is to create the vision, put as many details as you can. I don't think you need to put the name of the street where the house is, but that could be if you are super clear that that's the street where you want your house to be, then you might want to go that far. I personally love to think that my mind has a simple limitation. So there could be something way more gorgeous and beautiful than I've even thought about. And honestly, I have seen that it kind of works that way. You can only go as far as you can imagine. And usually it far surpasses what the little, even big thoughts, bigger dreams can actually comprehend. So that's the cool part about being specific, but not going like, I want to be with that woman. First of all, that's not a game you want to play, because that is involving another human being. And so to say, I want to be with that, that's not how manifestation works. Now, if you take the qualities of that woman and you say, oh, I would love this person to have these qualities, it may or may not be that woman, right? So you see how you need to be specific, but also don't get like obsessively specific to the point where it won't work, because you're not using the principles of manifestation properly, and therefore it will not work, right? So so make sure that you are specific, but not going to that extent where it's not really manifestation anymore. It's stalking or obsession, right? Like, so let's recap the story. 1, you need to be able to think outside of the box that your society has told you this is what's possible. Yeah, with your education, you can only do this, right? With your education, you can only earn this amount of money. With your education, you can only get this type of job. I have seen people over the 30 years that I've been doing this work totally smash all the boxes, and be able to achieve things that literally made their own jaws drop and everyone around them go, I don't understand what I'm looking at right now. This is literally insane based on this information, right? So you need to be able to think outside of the limited stories that you're telling yourself. You need to be able to think outside of the limited stories that your friends, family, and society are telling you. You need to be able to think outside the limited stories that you, deep inside, might be telling yourself, right? And so you think about it, and you keep thinking, and you keep polishing those thoughts, and you keep those visualizations becoming more clarity, more clear. And as you're doing that, you're connecting emotionally to the feeling of abundance that those dreams and those ideas bring to you, right? Because it's connected to your truth. For example, you don't want to be in front of a desk. You want to be able to go out in nature and earn your money doing outdoorsy stuff. And as you think about that, your energy goes up and your emotions expand. And as you tap into those emotions, they give you positive feelings and they make you feel good. And as you continue to imagine that, suddenly things start to happen in your life, opportunities start to come that slowly take you towards that. And especially if you're able to start doing more outdoorsy stuff. Yeah, exploring how are other people earning money with outdoor stuff that you're good at, starting to look at other people's profiles and being inspired by what they've been able to accomplish in that space that you want to be in. So your attention goes away from what you don't want to what you do want. And that in itself is an energy, a force, and a power that starts to move and work with the universal energy or presence or energy, whatever you want to call it. There is an interaction between your thoughts and your feelings and with what you're doing every single day. And then things start to happen. And because you're so clear, you recognize those opportunities. And I can't tell you how important that part of this is. Yes, most people wouldn't recognize their dreams if it slapped them in the face because it's foggy, it's blurry, it doesn't have specificity. I've always had fun with that word. It doesn't have specificity, okay? And so therefore, when the opportunities come, they would actually say no or think, I'm not ready, or it's not the right time, as opposed to go, this is it. What I had in here is coming towards me. Here it is. And then having the courage, because you need courage to go after your dreams, because it's not a straight line. It's not a straight line to success. You may say yes and then fail. Yeah, but that gave you experience, that gave you knowledge that you wouldn't have had if you'd said no. And that's what success is. It's a series of failures that finally lead you to being able to figure out the matrix and arrive to whatever it is that you said you wanted, right? I wanted to be an international best-selling author. I wanted to create impact in thousands of people's lives on a global scale and go to different cities all over the world and do that. And so I started to think about those things. I started to imagine those things. And so when opportunities presented me to be able to start doing those things, and I already was doing in my smaller way, little steps, and then bigger opportunities came, I didn't feel ready, but I said, yes, absolutely. This is what I've called in. Yes, this is what I've called in. Some of you have called in beautiful relationships that you're rejecting because the story of I'm not ready, because you think it's up to you. The how. No, the what is up to you. What do you want? Yes, the being able to feel into it and enjoy what those thoughts give you. That's up to you. The ability to take little steps every single day in that direction and not deviate or get confused when it gets challenging. And the ability to recognize when you brought what you want in an opportunity, maybe not a full-formed opportunity, but enough that you go, oh my God, this is exactly in alignment with what I've been thinking about and what I've been feeling and what I've been wanting. So that, my beautiful friend, if you've got to the end of this video, is what manifestation is all about. Please share this conversation with as many people as possible. Because the reason I want to share this with you is because I didn't know that I was participating in what was being created in my life, financially, in my relationships, in my wealth, and in my career. I didn't know that what I thought, imagined, or believed was really impacting my ability to get what I wanted. And so when I started to play with all of this stuff, and recognize this, I thought more people need to be empowered. You have an inner force inside of you that is so powerful and so magical and so beautiful. And I just want you to know about it. And I want you to help others get to untap and discover more about that for themselves as well. Share your stories about how you've overcome limiting beliefs, how you've elevated your emotions, and how you've been able to create outside of the box that you were told you could create in because of whatever reasons people told you you can't do this, right? So there's nothing more awesome than being able to surprise yourself, surprise the world, and create magic in your everyday life intentionally and with purpose. Have a great time. I love you so much. My name is Mahima. I'm the creator of the Own Your Superstar trainings, and I am so happy that you're listening to this and spreading and sharing this message with more people in the world. The world needs your brilliance and your light. Keep sharing it, keep manifesting, and having fun with playing that game. So much love, and have an amazing time until the next Truth Telling Thursday. Ooh, yes, yes, yes. Okay. Mwah. Bye-bye.